Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. XRP Crypto Wolf bringing this to us. The Bank of England says crypto crash survivors could become tomorrow's Amazons and eBays. So, you know what that means? That means that because of the crash we're seeing right now, the big crypto crash of 2022, this is really going to, decide who is going to win and who is going to lose. And, we're seeing that with Terra Luna, or we did see that with Terra Luna a couple months ago. We're seeing that with other cryptocurrency companies. This could be the great cleansing of crypto. It could actually see a lot of cryptocurrencies disappear eventually. Right now, there's roughly 19,993, exactly 19,993 cryptocurrencies, at least listed here on CoinMarketCap. So almost 20,000 cryptocurrencies. And, this article is essentially saying this is going to be a cataclysmic event for crypto. The ones that survive are likely going to be the ones that solve problems. And just this morning, I was talking a little bit about why XRP was just kind of all of a sudden rallying out of the blue, and along with XLM. So, in that particular case, those two particular coins are similar. They were rallying, and if you guys didn't catch this morning's video, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. But here they're saying this: the survivors of the rout in crypto assets could become the technology companies of the future, rivaling Amazon.com and eBay. And this is coming from the Bank of England Deputy Governor John Cunliffe. Cunliffe compared the crash that has wiped out more than $1 trillion off the value of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies this year to the dot-com collapse at the start of the millennium. And here's what he said: the analogy for me is the dot-com boom. When $5 trillion was wiped off values, Cunliffe said at the Point Zero Forum in Zurich on Wednesday, a lot of companies went, but the technology didn't go away. It came back 10 years later, and those that survived, the Amazons and eBays, turned out to be the dominant players. And it's funny that this is coming from the Bank of England Deputy Governor. The Bank of England obviously has a close relationship with Ripple, and we know that England, the UK, very favorable to XRP, has deemed it a currency, and I believe that classification has been in place since at least 2015. He stressed that crypto technology has huge applications and potential within the financial sector, even though the market is wobbling at the moment. Whatever happens over the next few months to crypto assets, I expect crypto technology and finance to continue, Cunliffe said. He has the possibility of huge efficiencies and changes in market structure. The BOE is developing plans for its own retail central bank digital currency and will deliver a consultation paper at the end of the year. One key issue under investigation is whether to produce a fully independent CBDC with an on or off ramp for fiat money, or just something that is flexible enough to be used in private stablecoins. Cunliffe gave an example of stablecoins that are integrated into supply chain and logistics systems to maximize efficiency. So, talking a little bit about the stablecoin initiative, CBDCs here. Obviously, that is also going to play a role in the future of finance. And so the dominant players, as Cunliffe says, likely going to be those cryptocurrencies, as we've been hearing for years now. But guys, now we're actually seeing it happen in front of our eyes. The dominant players are going to be those that stick around after this collapse. So I thought that was interesting. I also saw this guy's from Sal at Sandy Dillon here on Twitter. Charles Hoskinson voices support for Ripple in the lawsuit against the SEC. So he recently did an interview with BitBoy Crypto earlier this week. I missed that interview, but he was quite supportive of Ripple in the battle with the SEC, arguing that regulators should not be working on a case-by-case basis. And he says that this causes investors to constantly live in fear. In addition, Charles Hoskinson also said that the SEC is still really not clear and open in the process of working with crypto companies, although they have mentioned many times that all crypto platforms must be registered with the governing body. Specifically, the case of Coinbase's crypto lending product has to be stopped due to pressure from the SEC. Here's a quote from Charles Hoskinson. It's just an example of what happens when you do regulation through enforcement instead of legislation. You should have clear, understandable standards, and there should be a clear process for people to adhere and comply with those standards. Regarding the long-running litigation between Ripple and the SEC, at the end of April 2022, the executives of Ripple Labs and the SEC finally came to a decision to accept an extension of the schedule and delay the lawsuit until the end of 2023. So this lawsuit's still ongoing. Charles Hoskinson obviously in support of a crypto framework that makes sense for everybody. But this guy's a stand-up guy. Obviously doesn't believe in the tribalism, the crypto tribalism that we've seen in the past. It's not like my coin's better than your coin for whatever reasons. he is in support of an industry that needs to be regulated properly. Same with people at Ripple. They want to see the industry regulated in a way that help all crypto companies survive. And I guess, it's no coincidence that Cardano is on the list of the 6 approved, I guess I could put in quotes, WEF coins that was published last summer. With regards to the lawsuit, Bill at Belisarius 2020 here posted this. So James K. Filan just posted this latest update. Filed under seal, its proposed redactions to the Ripple defendants' response to the SEC's opposition to the amici motion to participate in the expert challenge. The SEC also publicly filed a letter explaining its proposed redactions. So this is kind of the latest. Bill weighing in on this. Thanks, James. It is concerning that this letter shows that the SEC is seeking to seal anything, even a footnote, that shows the substance of Mr. Duty's evidence. He gives evidence about the reasonable expectations of XRP holders who acquired XRP, but the SEC does not want those XRP holders to see his evidence. The SEC like to do things in the dark behind closed doors. Mr. Duty's evidence, for which he is being paid by the U.S. taxpayers, should be made public. On top of that, the SEC wishes to seal the nature of the threats and harassment. This prevents the public forming a view about how serious it was and the risk to the expert and whether it justifies keeping from the public the substance of Mr. Duty's evidence. Not one bit of this will improve the tarnished reputation of the SEC. And a few people down here in this thread just commenting how little they respect the SEC. Tag XRP down here saying some really creepy stuff going on. And Bill responding, it is unbelievable. The SEC engaged Duty. It seems from his evidence in the Telegram case that he probably hasn't spoken to a single XRP holder, but opines on their reasonable expectations that the SEC finds an excuse to prevent an entire XRP community seeing his evidence. Okay, so that is the latest there with regards to the redactions. Filing this, we just got breaking news yesterday from Charles Gasparino with regards to what Senator Toomey said about Gary Gensler's position on some of these new SEC proposals. We also heard from Hester Peirce, which I'm going to get to in a second. So Senator Toomey explains to Fox Business GOP position on Gary Gensler's new progressive SEC proposals. I'm very concerned Gary Gensler is pushing the limits of the SEC authority. I think this new proposed rule on climate disclosure is wildly beyond what has ever been contemplated as the SEC's responsibility. Why the heck are they now talking about climate disclosure? This is interesting because the SEC has never, ever, 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 ever taken a position on these other things that do not relate to securities. So this is very interesting. I also think that he has claimed that virtually all crypto assets are securities without explaining how and why that is. Regulation by enforcement is a terrible approach. So that is clearly Senator Toomey's perspective, and we know, I guess we kind of already know where he stands on this. Tim at TimR614 here on Twitter posted this. So this is a clip from yesterday's Fox Business segment. Liz Clayman and Charles Gasparino talking on this exact matter.
Chairman Gary Gensler is releasing the agency's list of rulemaking proposals, and he is getting pushback already, including from crypto mom Hester Peirce, who, of course, is a very important person on the SEC. Is she not, Charlie?
She's a Republican commissioner. We should point out that he's getting pushback on all these proposals, but particularly the climate stuff. I mean, how he wants companies to do this enhanced disclosure on how they're reducing their footprint. It is getting pushback from Republicans as well beyond the SEC's mandate. And there are other issues they have problems with. But we should put up first what Hester had to say. Again, an SEC commissioner, Republican. Let's get a full screen of what she had to say. Just put it right up there because it's interesting. The agenda continues to shun issues of core of our mission in favor of shiny objects outside of our jurisdiction. We used to focus on companies' disclosures of economically material information. We now focus on disclosures of hot button matters outside our remit. That's their authority. We once sought to protect retail investors. We now rush to aid professional investors. I mean, that's pretty tough stuff from inside. I've not seen a commissioner come out against a chairman like that. Now, maybe even more problematic for Gary Gensler, if he wants to get this through, is what Senator Pat Toomey, a ranking Republican on the banking committee, had to say. Let's put up what Toomey gave Elliot.
I'm going to stop it there because we did go over what Senator Toomey said in a tweet. But with regards to what Hester Peirce says as well, it sounds like she's getting more and more angry about this. The agenda continues to shun issues at the core of our mission in favor of shiny objects outside our jurisdiction. She's also noticing that Gary Gensler is being pried away from, I think, what initially was the SEC's mandate. And he's now focusing on other companies, their disclosures of economically immaterial information. They talk about climate change initiatives, which should not be really up to the SEC. It should not really be in their purview. Here's the second part to this, and I will link this entire tweet thread, guys, in the description of the video if you want to watch the full thing.
We should point out something really interesting. This is kind of percolating through the grapevine. The stuff on climate is getting so much blowback. It's even getting blowback, from what I understand, from ESG advocates on Wall Street. I mean, we're hearing through the grapevine that none other than Larry Fink thinks the SEC, and he's the CEO of BlackRock. We've had him on this show to talk about ESG. He thinks they're going too far here, from what I understand. Now, we should point out that BlackRock has always been a proponent of some ESG. But what Larry Fink has said, which I think is reasonable, is that we need a transition to all this zero carbon footprint stuff. Because if you don't have a transition, well, guess what? You're going to have oil companies not drilling for oil, and you're going to have massive inflation as we have now. So this is interesting. Again, there's not much that can be done in the interim, because the Republicans don't control Congress. But once they do, it's going to be game on between Gensler and the Republicans. And, you know, these rules can't happen overnight. There's going to be
their comments and all that.
Yeah, and then there's going to be...
By the way, Bitcoin is moving higher on this news, probably because they've always wanted some certainty. They say, just give us the roadmap.
From here, they talk a little bit about Bitcoin and asset price, so I'm going to stop the clip there. Interesting, though, that they're getting a lot of blowback on the climate stuff. And Charles Gasparino is even mentioning Larry Fink of BlackRock, also giving them a hard time with the climate stuff. Now, I'm a little confused because it almost sounds like this is a bit contradictory to the ultimate goal and the ultimate plan. There's the climate stuff, okay, but they're getting blowback. I get it from the Republicans, but from Larry Fink at BlackRock? The whole WEF agenda is centered around this idea of sustainable change. And we know BlackRock is a partner of the World Economic Forum. So I'm wondering if there's a bit of theater here or something, because I don't see this really making sense. I don't know if maybe some of you guys have an idea about what's going on. Put it down in the comments section if you do. There's also this shift to a more climate-friendly agenda at the SEC as what is the controversial topic. And the other thing that doesn't make sense is, well, if their agenda is so environmentally friendly, why are we focusing our efforts on suing Ripple and XRP? It's starting to unravel a little bit, and you know, the things that were once so clear and certain to me are now starting to get muddied a little bit. So I'm wondering, what the heck is going on here? Are they pivoting? Is something else happening behind the scenes that we're not realizing? And are the powers that be changing their strategy in order to make this work? With regards to Eleanor Turret, so she is a producer at Fox News. Wow, Hester Peirce going off on the SEC new regulatory agenda, which includes rulings on board diversity, market structure, climate change disclosures, and SPACs. So talking about board diversity, climate change, it almost sounds like a bit of a woke agenda here. The agenda continues to shun issues at the core of our mission in favor of shiny objects outside our jurisdiction. So she tweets out Hester Peirce's tweet, and Hester Peirce links to her most recent statement here over there on the SEC website. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested in reading the full thing. But just to summarize, she also notes that the agenda fails to address some of the key crypto regulatory questions that investors are begging for, like when an asset should be considered a security. Instead, the agency is looking to increase its oversight over crypto trading and lending platforms by attempting to expand the definition of an exchange under the U.S. Security Exchange Act of 1934 to include communication protocol systems. So they really are, the SEC really is looking to strangle the crypto industry from the in and out point of the crypto exchange, the Coinbases, the Krakens, all those companies, the Binances, all those companies where you buy and sell cryptocurrency, where you load on your cash, you purchase crypto, you profit, and then you take your money off. So at those on and off ramps, those are going to be the choke points. Those are the focus. At least that is what the SEC is looking at to focus their energies on. And so maybe this is why, they're not going to be going after specific cryptocurrencies. Maybe this is why Gary Gensler has an agenda now for all of a sudden for environmentally friendly assets to kind of meet a certain threshold. But Hester Peirce, calling him on it. What the heck is going on? Tim down here saying, if only she'd blow the whistle on her agency that's supposed to protect and not harm investors. Eleanor Turret responding, though, she voices this: we once sought to protect retail investors, now we rush to aid the professional investors. It also makes you wonder, do they even really care about retail? Are they trying to squeeze us out? And maybe this is part of the plan. Maybe it's because they want us out of XRP. It is not meant for retail, as we have heard in the past. I believe it was Dilip Rao who said, and he's the CEO at Ripple over there in the MENA region, it's not meant for retail investors. It is meant for enterprise solutions. So why? And I don't think that Ripple or any of these companies that will be or are already utilizing XRP ever thought that the XRP community would grow to be such a big cryptocurrency community. All things that make you go, Are they trying to make the situation a little more favorable for the institutions? I don't doubt it. I don't put it past anyone, to be honest with you. Michael at Val5Links here also mentioning that the SEC chair recommends one crypto rulebook. So here's just a little more about this. The SEC chair Gary Gensler on Friday said financial agencies in the U.S. should share one crypto rulebook in order to prevent loopholes due to fragmented regulatory structure. The recommendations come after a bipartisan crypto bill proposes the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, for crypto oversight. In fact, Gary Gensler is in discussion with his counterparts at the CFTC to ensure satisfactory protection and transparency regarding the trading of digital assets. Moreover, SEC Chair Gary Gensler claims that most digital asset tokens are securities. So now he's saying one crypto rulebook, whereas before, I don't feel like that was so much his focus. Just down here, Gary Gensler believes a shared crypto rulebook will better protect investors against fraud, front-running, and manipulation, as well as provide transparency. This is what he told the Financial Times, and here's a quote. I'm talking about one rulebook on the exchange that protects all trading regardless of the pair, be it a security token versus a security token versus commodity token versus a commodity token. In January, CFTC's chair Rostin Benham stated that digital tokens qualify as commodities, including Bitcoin and Ether. The CFTC is better aligned to manage the crypto market. Gary believes the crypto bill undermines protections, he says, as the crypto market reels under massive pressure. The SEC chair warned that the crypto bill undermines market protections. He believes most cryptocurrencies are unregistered securities that harm investor protection. The SEC has already filed lawsuits against crypto companies, including Ripple, as we know. Moreover, the SEC is investigating Binance's initial coin offering of BNB over a violation of securities law. So that's the sum up. One rule book. It almost also sounds like they want to get us, retail, out of XRP and other cryptocurrencies, likely the ones that are promoted by the WEF, that are going to be very, very valuable in the future. And it's been a messy process in the meantime. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.